guys on that road, keep it up.
Whoa, great!
Oh no, big mistake! I had to go back last and down to 10. No, he's not in the corner.
It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
A good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 12, the last round of the Formula SimRacing Pro Championship 2018. My name is Felix van Delft and I will be your main commentator for today. I'm joined today by Peter Schulze as usual. Welcome, Peter.
Hi, Felix.
So we're a little bit late into the qualifying session, some technical difficulties earlier today, but we're here now. So let's dive straight into the race, or into the qualifying. Currently, the quickest driver on track seems to be Jordi Zwiers. Let's take a look at him as he, I think, is about to start his next run. As there are just under 5 minutes to go. He's actually finishing this run. Just to show what his pace is. 1 minute 6.244. It's very close in his qualifying session so far. Top 16 within 7 tenths. So really close already. It's promising to see. Something to note. Last race, if you didn't follow it, Ivan Leenhoff got really close to finishing first, or wrapping up the Pro Championship, the Drivers' Championship, that is. He was 0.03 of a second too short, or short of winning that race. And if he won that race, he would have won the Drivers' Championship immediately. Now, because his main championship rival, Tiziano Brioni, is not driving today, it instantaneously makes him the Pro Driver Champion, because even if he doesn't score any points, even if he doesn't finish, he will be the champion, because Tiziano won't be here to capitalize on any mistakes that Ivan would be making.
Yeah, pretty good job by Ivan the whole season. Solid lead into the last race as well. The chances of him winning the race, even with winning the championship, even with Tiziano attending, would have been pretty high. So good job by Ivan for the whole season.
Yeah, definitely. He's been very quick, shown that he definitely is a quick driver and worthy of a rank up for the next season, perhaps to the Ace or maybe World Championship. Currently he's sitting on that provisional pole position. We just saw him make that final lap. Now Mark Weiler on board with him, coming to the line to finish his lap. Improves himself up to P12. Interesting to see Palomaro Sanantidis pretty high up the standings. One of the Greek drivers that we have here in the Formula SimRacing Pro Championship. He is just about to start this lap, so let's go on board with him. Into turn 1. You can see it's a bit of a bumpy first couple of corners. Goes downhill pretty steep as well. And then the first straight, opening up the DRS, braking hard for turn 4. Don't run too wide there, because you will lose a bit of time. You do want to go on the power early. Now the fast right-hander. You can see just a little tap on the brakes and then full on the power and fully to the right. Very, very quick corner. Then the second sector. Relatively slow corners. Now very bumpy second to last or third to last corner if you count the next corner as a corner. Last corner, ooh, a bit too early on the power. A bit of oversteer there for Polamaros Salantidis, and that's the end of his qualifying. On his second sector was an improvement, and I believe his first sector was not too bad either. So maybe that would have been his chance at a pole position this year. Who knows? There's only 1.5 minutes remaining in this session. Polamaros does not have any attempts left. Ivan has 1 attempt left, and so does Tom Ollenmenger. So keep an eye out on those two. Kostas Kolonamatis in P6 currently, also on a lap. His first sector is an improvement, so perhaps he can do something.
Yeah, and we have Jordi as well, having one left. Oh no, he doesn't. Huh. Okay, never mind then. I think the first of them who's on a lap should be Tom Ollenmenger right now, going into turn 4. Hard late braking, good on the apex, good on the exit as well. It's important to not run too wide, to not lose the traction. Then a long left-hander, which is very fast, but obviously if you take too much speed, you will lose it on the exit. Tom's lap so far looks really good. Now in the slow section, the infield of the track. Very important to get the corners right, to get a good lap time. He needs good traction coming out of here. And coming up to the last real corner. Not that hard on power. I think he lost a bit of time there on the exit, but it's very important to get a good speed onto the straight, because it's uphill as well. Let's see what lap time he does. He doesn't improve. He does a 6.45.
Yeah, so P3 or lower. This for an Ivan Leonov. Just started his final lap, and the first sector is a purple first sector. Kostas Kalamatis, by the way, improved himself to P5. So the two Greek drivers are very close to each other. Cameron Roger also about to finish his lap, so let's keep an eye out on that as well. Alright, so Cameron Roger, I believe, did improve his time, is currently in P11. Ivan Leonov, I think, abandoned his attempt. Or his second sector is just not the best. Coming to the line though, let's see what it is. Not an improvement. 106.906. That's the end of this qualifying section. Ivan Leonov on the pole position with a 1 minute 6.122. Over a tenth quicker than Jordi Swiers. So Ivan, being the champion right now, showing that he's worthy of that champion title, and putting himself on pole position by a bit of a margin. Great stuff there by the Netrex Grand Prix driver, and promises to be a exciting race, I'm sure. Brazil also always gives us exciting races, so I'm looking forward to it. So we will be heading for a short 5-minute advertisement break. When we are back, we will go through the warm-up session and obviously the race with you guys. So grab a cup of coffee and stay tuned, because we will be right back.
Hey man, I got that new TMX Thrustmaster wheel. It's going down.
Xbox One?
I can't wait to play when I get home.
You'll let me play?
Yeah, I have to play first.
You know, I'll race it for it.
Well, I have to hand
Do you want a more immersive experience? Thrustmaster T150 force feedback racing wheel. Official PS3 and PS4 licenses, and also PC compatible. Rubber coated wheel grips. 1080 degrees of rotation. Adjustable force feedback. Large metal sequential pad. Optimized ergonomic design. Mixed belt, pulley, and gears system. Thrustmaster. Enter into the real driving world.
man. Keep it up.
Whoa! Race!
Oh no, big mistake! Edwards got back to us and down to 10. Now he's cornering.
It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round of the Formula SimRacing 2018 Pro Championship here at the Autodrome José Carlos Pache. Obviously, a very, very beautiful track. One of my favorites, personally. Really love driving around this track. Warm-up is just about finished. We're a little bit later than normal, but that doesn't make the race any less exciting. Race will be 54 laps long, obviously around this short track. The track is only 4.3 kilometers long, so relatively short track. 54 laps around here. Will be exciting, like we've seen in qualifying. Drivers are really close to each other, and here in warm-up, quickest guy is Kostas Galamatis, but it doesn't say much, to be honest. He could be running more engine mixture, he could be running less fuel than other guys, other tires. Who knows? So we're just waiting for some of the announcement by the race director to be finished. He needs to set up the grid and everything, so sometimes that takes a little bit longer than usual. But I'm sure we will be starting shortly. Tires for this race will be the soft, medium, and hard tire. So I think the most common strategy here would be a two-stop with a soft, medium, and then a soft again to the end. Maybe other drivers think differently of that. Obviously, I'm not driving here in the Pro Championship, so I'm just guessing, pretty much. But who knows? So the drivers are now lining up on the grid to start their formation lap here to begin the race. Ivan Leonov on that pole position will be rolling off to start the race. Start the formation lap, I should say. "29 drivers off the grid, starting their formation lap. Ivan taking it slow so far. Trying to save some fuel. It's a long race, and the fuel is pretty tight around this circuit because of the high speeds that they do have around this circuit, but also the 54 laps. So they have to be careful to not use too much of their engine mixtures or too much of the boost, that they run out of fuel before they get to the finish. So just looking at the tires that are being used by the drivers, it seems that All top 11 is on the softs. Obviously, they qualified, or at least the top 10 qualified on the soft tire, so they need to start on that. Then from P12 down to P18, everybody is on the medium tire. And then we have a few guys that are on the soft tire there. Thomas Lenz, Timo Burkhardt, Claudio Cunha, and Mikhailo Vicentovic, who will be starting on the soft tire. And Arek Kulak is the only driver here on the grid that will be starting on the hard tire. Hardest compound that we have available here in Formula Sim Racing and for this race. Hasn't been used in many races. I believe that the only 2 races where the hard tire have been used were the Japan and the Great Britain Grand Prix. So out of 12, only 3 races where the hard tire is used. You can see that, well, it's maybe a bit too hard tire, but well, you have to have a hard tire at least somewhere in your selection, because you're gonna need it. Now, drivers are lining up on their grid slots, and we are waiting for the lights to come on and then also go out again. Everybody lined up in their grid slots. Lights are coming on. We have 5 lights. And they are away, and it's been a good start for Jordi Spiers, who's already alongside Ivan Leonov coming into turn 1. Will it be enough, though, to have the... Oh, there was contact between Ivan Leonov and... Oh, now it's mayhem in turn 1 of this race. Ivan Leonov spun around and all the way down to the back of the grid without a front wing. Jordi Spiers leading this race now. Also, one of the drivers involved there, Polomado Salantidis, is still on P2, so it must have been Kostas Gaulamatis that had the incident as well there in turn 1. Seemed like Ivan just had some oversteer coming into the corner and, I don't know, just span around on his own. Not sure, haven't seen the replay, so I could be wrong there. Now further down the grid, it seems that it's been relatively okay, apart from the turn 1 incident, of course.
Yeah, I also saw a few tires flying around at the back there. We have 2 retirees, I think. 4 retirees, actually. Jan Wiesli, Intrak Remets, Arek Kulak, Joao Pitas, all out of the race.
Wow. Cameron Roger up to P9 already. He will be making a move here around the outside. Oh. Mark Weiler isn't making it easy for him. And now Cameron also needs to watch out for the driver behind him, his teammate Tom Lomberts. DRS isn't enabled yet. In the foreground you also see Luca D'Amelio making a pass on Michael Wilson. There Cameron Roger did get past Mark Weiler. Now in the background also the ghost speed of Tom Lomberts and Rumer Tissing almost going side by side through turn 6 and 7. It's a tough spot to go side by side on. And the Rumer decided to back out of that move before it was too late and ended up in tears. Now Jordi Spiers already leading this race by over a second to Polomaros Salantidis, who will be happy to be on that close to the top spot of this race. We've seen the Greek drivers perform relatively well, top 10 finishes for them in some of the pro races, but haven't seen them this high up, which is great for them, of course.
Oh, I've just had a look at the incident with Ivan at turn 1. He got a bit unlucky. Jordi went up his inside and went wide, then Ivan had to back off, then Tom Oldenmenger clipped his rear, then he spun up all across the track, hit in Breslin, hit another car, and then another 3 or 4 cars went into him.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we had a huge crash after turn 3. 4 or 5 cars involved in the Turn 3 incident. There was contact between Matt Tucson and Joao Pitarz, which sent Joao Pitarz flying across the track, hitting 2 other cars, who then collected another 2 cars, I think.
Oh dear. So, last race of Pro, and in a little bit of disaster at the start of the race. We see Mark Weiler getting passed by Tom Lambert there. Rumer Tissing also looking for a move. Mark Weiler, though, is diving up the inside now of Tom Lambert. Not making it easy on Tom. Ooh, Tom has a bit of oversteer coming out of turn 2. This will mean Rumer Tissing will have a go at him into turn 4. Up the inside. Ooh, breaks a bit early there compared to Tom Lambert and has to back out of the move once again. Unless he wants to go for it right here. No. Wisely decides not to do that. The midfield in this race is still very, very close. And I think we will be... Oh, Thomas Lenz off the track. Still has all his wings and tires attached, so... Not sure what happened, but maybe some contact with the driver. Tank Applegate without a front wing, though. He is just coming out of the last corner, so won't be that far for him to go to the pit lane. Now has to be careful for the pit entrance. Has changed slightly compared to last year's on FSR. We have a bit of a corner in the pit lane now, so you can't just go full speed into it. Ooh, Mark Weiler and Tom Lambert are still battling. It's very, very close. All the guys in front of this. It's almost like a swarm behind Jan Woznica there. Mark Weiler goes up the inside there of Michael Wilson. Ooh, a bit of contact there, mate. Michael Wilson is on the faster tire, but nice racing there from Mark Weiler. Just going up the inside there of somebody at turn 7. Not something you see very often.
And just behind them, Roma made a late dive on the inside of Tom Lambert in turn 7, I think, as well. Turn 7 or 8. Tom had to move a bit out of the corner, but luckily no contact there. And they're still all 4 very close together.
Yeah, Timo Burkhardt now also joining in on this battle. You see it, 6 cars lined up now. Surely.
Oh, Tom!
Yep.
Oh, there's contact between Tom Lambert and Michael Wilson. Tom was very late on the brakes and had to basically move out of the corner to not hit Mark Weiler's rear wing, and then he got caught up with Michael Wilson, who he just overtook.
Yeah. Now Rumer Tissing is getting overtaken by Timo Burkhardt. Ooh, that was very, very close. Rumer closing the door a little bit, and Timo Burkhardt not having the confidence to just go up the inside and make the corner. But Timo had to back out there. Luckily no contact was made. And Polomaro Samtidis is actually closing in to the leader of this race. Jordi Zwiers needs to watch out for the Greek driver here. The gap is only 5/10 right now within the DRS range. And I don't know if this is Jordi just managing the gap. Just trying to lure Polomaros into his DRS and then make the gap bigger again. Not sure. Or just Jordi being a bit off pace compared to Polomaros Sanatidis. Polomaros is just closing in quicker and quicker.
I think Jordi is running a bit too high rings at the moment in this race. Looking at the top speed from the live timing, he's one of the slowest in the straights in the whole field.
Right.
So if Polomaros gets a little bit closer, Jordi will have a hard time defending this.
Yeah, if you just look at the speed trap, Polomado Sanantidis top speed 223.7. Jordi Zwiers' highest top speed has been 300 kilometers an hour, 300. Obviously, Polomados will have had DRS as well and slipstream available to him, which Jordi hasn't had. Still, that gap is a bit bigger than you would usually see between something like that. For example, if you compare it to Edward Bartala, he has 311. You would normally see about a gap of 10 to 15 kilometers an hour with DRS and slipstream. So Jordi Zwiers has to make sure that in this section of the track, the second sector, that he makes enough of a gap that he can. He can.
But
stay
this time
far
around,
up. Yeah.
this time around, Polomaros is way clear. I think Jordi should play the long game here instead of defending hard, because we've seen in every race so far that the Greek drivers, Polomaros and Kostas, always do at least one stop more than the whole field. So if Jordi can keep up with him, maybe use his slipstream to save a bit of fuel as well, and to just keep within Polomaros' distance, he might just have an easy win.
He's a little bit too far back to make the move here into turn 4. Yep, just having a little peek. Driving in the mirrors of Jordi Zwiers is making him a little bit nervous, perhaps. A little bit of sliding on the rear there for Polomado Sanantidis. Perhaps his tires already starting to give in a little bit. There again, a little bit of a snap oversteer there out of the last corner for Polomado Sanantidis. Surely his tires need to go a bit further than 10, 15 laps if he wants to make a proper strategy. But like you said, Peter, perhaps they just used so much of their tires that they will have to do an extra stop compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah, and his lap time has dropped as well in the last lap compared to everyone around him. He did a 10.8, while Jordi did a 10.3, and Tom Aldermang and Luca Di Emilio behind him both did a 10.5.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see the struggles he has on the rear tires in the lap times as well. Let's see if it gets better. Maybe he just overheated the tires for one lap and need to cool them down a bit.
Yeah, perhaps. Mark Weiler now getting close to Jan Bosnica, who has already been passed by Tom Lamberts. Jan Bosnica also, I wanted to say he also has a bit lower top speed, but that's not true. Doesn't have the DRS this lap around from the car in front of him though. So if Mark Weiler stays close enough here out of turn 2, he might be able to make the move into turn 3, but this time around Jan Bosnica does have the DRS. So it will be more difficult for Mark Weiler to get past if he stays in that DRS window of Tom Lamberts. A bit further down the back, P15. Two Invictus drivers are battling with Claudio Cunha, I think. Todor Pangev, my bad. They're battling with Todor Pangev. Todor trying to get past the driver in front of him.
Yeah, Toto has a good slipstream right now. He's about to open his DRS, is very close to Matthewson's car right now. Let's see, will he make a move for the inside? Matt does a late defensive move. Toto has to go out of the move to not run in. Oh, and there's contact on the inside, and Matthewson gets spun around, and Toto gets collected by Gerard Butler. Not sure why Gerard went full throttle into there, but yeah, this means Toto Punk have retired from the race. And I think Gerard Butler must have lost his front wing. Yeah, he did. Hard defending there between Tucson and Pangev, which, well, as we've seen, resulted in a crash. And the DNF as well.
Yeah, not sure.
Oh! And sorry to interrupt you, Sux just came out of the pit lane, had a massive oversteer into the wall again, so straight off the pit and received new damage as well.
Jan Bosnica got passed by Mark Weiler. But perhaps Bosnica is able to make a move back on Mark Weiler. He's very, very close here. Coming out of turn 6, or turn 5, sorry. Around the outside, coming up to turn 6 and 7. It's a bit too far back. Perhaps the switch back into turn 7 around the outside is not going to work here. Perhaps if he stays close enough, he might be able to do a move down the main straight. But it seems that his tires are dropping off a little bit compared to the medium tire now. 13 laps into this race. Yeah, he's a bit too far back to make a move this time around, I would say.
Oh, and look at the Emilio just DNF'd.
Oh, what did he do?
This might have been a disconnection.
Yeah, Bosnica staying close. But it seems that in the second sector he's losing time compared to Mark Weiler. The first and third sectors, the first sector, he's losing a bit of time, it seems. Or he's gaining a bit of time, sorry, and the third sector as well, because of the top speed and the DRS that he has available. But the second sector he seems to lose most of that time again. Perhaps his tires are wearing off, perhaps his wings are a bit lower than Mark Weiler. Ruben Tissing is also closing in now, so has to watch out for him as well.
I've just looked at the replay. Yeah, Luca had a disconnect, unfortunately. And we have the first one from the lead spitting. It's Edward Butler in lap 14.
Alright.
And he's going to the medium tires.
Has some damage on his car. You can see probably from the turn 1 incident at the start of the race. This steering wheel is tilted about 10, maybe 20 degrees to the left. You can see he's also struggling a little bit coming out of the pit lane here. But for now, seems to go well for him. Still within the top 10 after pitting, so could be worse. Now Polomaro Salantidis just lapped the car behind him, who's on the hard tires.
And we have Roma getting close to Jan Bosnica on the DRS, going on the inside. And is in front of Jan before the braking zone. Good move by Roma, making his way through the field after starting quite a far way down actually. And I think looking at the pace of the leaders, both of them will pit soon, and just as I said, as Palamaros goes into the pit lane, Jordi has dropped quite a lot of pace currently. He's around a second slower than he was before. He's slower than everyone behind him, so I think he might have pushed his tires a little bit too hard. Cameron Roger actually going purple in the last sector on his mediums. Cameron is in a very good position right now. He started on mediums in P11, is up to P3 right now. No, I think he started even further behind because of the penalty. So, yeah, he's currently in the top 4 after the pit stops, or top 5. I don't know if Edward was in front of him or not, but he's on a better strategy though, because he started on the harder tires. Obviously, can run longer and can use softer tires in the end. So Cameron might be in here for a podium, or maybe even surprise win.
Yeah, who knows? Seen Cameron do great comeback races as well. So perhaps he will be able to do something special here in the last race of the season. 38 laps remaining, so still a long way to go.
And Jordi's pitting, just as I said, his lap times dropped. He's pitting and obviously reacting to Palamaro's pit stop to not get undercut. He goes on mediums as well, just as Palamaros. I think... Oh, he boxed down on pit exit. This will be very close with Palamaros now on the exit. Let's see where Palamaros is. He's coming into turn 1. Jordi's exiting the pits. They're side by side through turn 2 and turn 3.
This is gonna be close.
This will be very close on pit exit. Oh, and Palamaros got the DS as well. Interesting. Jordi managed to defend the inside. Very close by Jordi.
Yeah, great defense there by Jordi Zwiers, just keeping him behind him. But we've seen that Palamaros has the higher top speed compared to Jordi Zwiers. If Jordi isn't able to make enough of a gap here in the second sector, perhaps he needs to watch out for him in the third sector. The long main straight with the DRS might be too much to hold back for Jordi Zwiers, but I think he has DRS from the driver in front of him now as well.
Yeah, he should have. But he's pitting, so no slipstream for Jordi.
Yeah, but he's got enough of a gap that just the DRS is more than enough to keep him behind. Ooh.
Oh, a bad exit out of turn 2 for Jordi. A lot of oversteer, the rear snap there, and now Palamaros is really close and has DS as well, so this will be game on for Palamaros. He needs to make it stick.
No.
Ah, Jordi is very good at defending the inside into turn 4.
Now this time around, no DRS for Jordi Zwiers. And Palamaros is very close, but not very far. Well, actually he's quite far. I think a bit too far to even make a move into turn 4, unless Jordi has some sort of oversteering again. No, this time it's a clean run out of turn 3.
Palamaros also pushed a bit too hard into turn 1 and lost the bit of track position he had. Dream.
Oh, Mark Weiler and Jan Bostica still battling hard. Almost a bit of contact into turn 1 or 2. Just missed that, but now into turn 3. Very close there. Mark Weiler trying to find the gap to get past the Drillers driver in front of him. They've been pretty much battling all race long. Now down the main straight. Seems like a good exit for Jan Woznica. But if Mark Weiler can keep the slipstream, he gets the DRS. I think it's going to be difficult for Jan Woznica to defend this. Not enough top speed there for Mark Weiler to do anything special, but perhaps out of turn 3. Seems like a good exit. DRS opening here. Closing and creeping in. Again, too far back to make a move.
And Tom Oldeming is into the pit lane.
Oh, yep.
He was the last of the soft runners actually. He did 21 laps on the softs.
That's quite a long way. He's going on to the mediums, I assume?
Yes, he is.
Alright, so 1 stop maybe? 33 laps on the mediums if you do 22 on the soft, perhaps. Mark Weiler though, this time around, he is close enough. Up the inside of Jan Woznica. Jan Woznica trying to defend. But he's a bit too far back. Now, maybe if Jan Woznica has a really good exit out of turn 2, he might be able to gain back the position here. Coming to turn 3, Mark Weiler going instantly defensive. Jan Woznica around the outside, maybe. No, not gonna work. The switchback, a bit too far back for that. Coming up to turn 6 though. Good exit there for Jan Woznica. Side by side coming into turn 6. This is never gonna work. Maybe the switchback. Around the outside. No, Woznica decides to back out of it. But it seems that Mark Weiler doesn't have the top speed to really defend off Jan Woznica when he has the DRS and the slipstream. So I am worried for him down this main straight.
Oh, and we have contact between Roma Titzing and Jordi Swears. Roma's into the wall. Jordi tried to go around the outside of turn 4 and Roma understeered into Jordi. Their wheels locked and Jordi managed to hold it, but Roma went straight into the wall.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Without a front wing now, Roma Titzing. Watch out for all the other drivers on track. Let's see if we can get a replay. I'm not sure. Oh, here we are. Not gonna be the most beautiful replay. A bit of lag. Rumor going defensive. Ooh. And indeed, yeah, they locked wheels. Unfortunate event. And that, well, ruins the race of Rumor Titzing. Jordi Swears wasn't affected that much, I think. So, Lomados Salantidis still has to fight for his... perhaps his win. Polomaros. Not far from Jordi Swears. If he has enough of a slipstream, has enough of the DRS, enough top speed, might be able to make a move work in the next few laps. ...322 kilometers an hour down the main straight. Has a bit of understeer in turn 1. Makes him not have the best exit out of turn 2 and 3.
And Romatising just DNF'd after the incident with Jordi because of his suspension damage.
Yeah. Unfortunate race to his final race of the season. Fortunate end, I should say. Romano Salantidis. Again, the second sector is where he loses his time. If he can't get close enough here through the second sector, he won't be able to get enough of the slipstream to get past Jordi Juice, even though he has the top speed advantage. This time he's pretty close though. If he gets a good exit out of this first two corners, might be able to do something into turn 4. But I think Jordi Juice is going to use every bit of engine he's got available to him to try and make sure he has a good enough exit to make sure he has a bit of top speed at the end of this little straight.
Oh, Jordi spun! No! And into the wall as well. Did he lose his front wing?
Yep.
Yes, he did. Oh, don't reverse.
He just lost it on his own. Just on the exit of the corner, on the curb. Just spun around. That's also heavy suspension damage for him. No front wing. That is very, very unfortunate for him. But a driver's mistake does happen to the best of us. From the lead of the race, obviously that is a very unfortunate thing to happen. In the pits now, new front wing. Suspension damage won't be fixed for him. Long pit stop as well. So, right now, Polomaro Salantidis basically leading the race. However, Cameron Roger hasn't stopped yet and has a lead of 8 seconds to Polomaro Salantidis. Once Cameron stops, I think he will only stop once again. So, one stop for Cameron Roger. And that would mean that's going to be difficult for Polomaro Salantidis to gain back this win. However, there is still 27 laps remaining, or just over half of this race. Anything can still happen.
I think Tom Aldermanger might be a threat for the race win as well. If he really only does this one stop, he's effectively ahead of Polomaros as well right now.
Yeah.
And Cameron's pitting. That's quite early for a run stop, unless he goes on the hards. And he was very late on the entry as well. On the speed entry. On pit speed limit line, I mean.
Yeah, it goes hard.
Yeah, hard tires.
And it's a one stop for sure, yeah. But is the hard tire gonna be quick enough for him?
Huh. In the last few races, the hardest tire always was a bit slow, so we will see if Cameron can make it work or not. He will be just right behind Edward Butler coming back out of the pit lane.
So, if Tom Ollermenger is on that one stop as well...
Oh, and Cameron makes the move on to Edward Battala into turn 1, up the inside. Edward will get the S though for the next straight, so he might come back at Cameron.
Has a bit of oversteer out of turn 2 though. I think he's too far back, and I don't think he will be trying. He knows that he's on a different strategy, and really getting past Cameron right now won't make much of a difference to him if he's not quicker. So we have to keep an eye out on these lap times. Cameron Roger just did a 1:10.1. 3/10 quicker than Tom Ollermenger's last lap. And also 2/10 quicker than Polamaro's Stanantidis' last lap.
Jordi is flying right now on his mediums, and even though he has suspension damage, or might have a little bit of suspension damage, he just set the fastest lap of the race.
Alright. 38 seconds back. Has to stop again, surely. Or will he get these mediums to the end? If he's pushing this hard?
Yeah, considering how he pushes right now, probably not. But maybe.
Who knows? 24 laps. These tires are 3 laps old now. 4 laps. 28 laps on the mediums. We've seen Cameron do it. He did 28. Exactly 28. But I don't think he was pushing that hard. Just watching from the off-board cameras.
Oh!
You can see him pushing.
Reinier Vergeest in the pits without a front brake.
Oh dear.
Let's take a look. Maybe I can find a replay.
In the meantime, Tom Lamberts is trying to get past Edward Battala.
Ooh. Yeah, Reinier lost it on acceleration out of turn 4. He went onto the gravel a bit and lost the car.
Bojan Bogdanov and Jan Woznica are also battling.
Bogdanov just lost 1.5 seconds in the second sector, I think. Yeah, he did.
What happened?
He was going very slow all of a sudden.
That's strange.
Cameron's lap times on these hards are actually very competitive. He's a 10th faster than Sarantidis and Oldermenger in front of him. So it might be the right decision for him to go on the mediums.
Yeah. 21 laps to go. Might be getting time for Polomaros to do his pit stop.
Ah, Bogdan is pitting. Maybe his tires gave up 2 laps ago.
So Polomaros still leading this race. Not much else really happening on track currently.
We have Timo Bocker pitting for new sets of mediums. So this will bring him to the end.
Yeah, for sure. 20 laps should be easily doable on the medium tires.
And Edward Batala pitting as well. Probably a new set of mediums to the end for him.
Tom Holdermanger is now starting to really catch up to Polomaros Sanantidis. Maybe 3 seconds behind him. Considering Polomaros will be pitting again, would assume Tom Holdermanger isn't. But maybe he just realizes that his tires are worn too much, won't be making it to the end, so then he does make that final stop eventually. Back marker getting slightly in the way here of Tom Holdermanger. Claudio Cunha does make the space now, but a little bit doubtful there. But does make it around the corner. Well and good there. Tom Holdermanger is now 2.2 seconds behind Polomaros Sanantidis. Polomaros not going into the pit lane just yet. Probably trying to go as long as possible on these medium tires so that he can push as hard as possible on the soft tires after this. Polamaro's still staying out. Michael Wilson, Claudio Cunha and Gareth Battala now getting close to each other.
Oh, Michael Wilson nearly went into the wall at the same spot as rFactor earlier. Bit of a tricky, well, I don't know what it is, if it's AstroTurf or if it's gravel, but it seems to catch out a lot of people.
Yep, Jordi Zwiers just got past Edward Battala as well. Not sure if Edward Battala is going to make it that easy on Jordi Zwiers. Trying to go around the outside of turn 4. That's not going to work. But we know that Jordi doesn't have much of top speed compared to some of the other drivers. Now the gap between Tom Holleming and Polamaros Sarantidis under a second. Surely Polamaros must be coming in very soon.
Yeah, he should be coming in very soon because many other drivers are going onto the softs already, and if he doesn't want to lose any more time to Tom or Cameron, he should pit as soon as possible. Yeah,
Yes,
he's pitting.
Soft tires for Polamaros to the end of the race. Looks like a good pit stop for him. Where is the rest of the drivers? Behind him as well, Tom Lombert's into the pit lane. So the gap to Cameron Roger is going to be crucial for Polamaros Sarantidis. Seems like it's roughly 10 to 12 seconds with 14 laps remaining. It's going to have to be around a second a lap quicker. Cameron is of course on the hard tire. Polamaros is on the soft tire, so a second a lap quicker. Is it going to be possible? Last lap of Cameron Roger, 1 minute 10.5. Quickest lap of the race has been a 1 minute 9.5 by Jordi Zwiers. So you would assume that on a fresh set of soft tires with this low fuel, it would be possible for Polamaros to do a low 1 minute 9s. But is he able to pull it off?
I think the main problem for Polamaros is not Cameron but Tom Holleming. If Tom would stop again, he would have come in and now to not get undercut. I think he will take these mediums to the end.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
Tom knows that he has a 8-second lead over Cameron, who's on the hard tire. So unless Tom Holleminger's mediums really die off at the end of the race, I think he is pretty safe. So obviously purple sectors for the two guys that are on the soft tire. In purple, first sector for Tom Lomberts. In the front we can see, I think that is Gareth Battala battling with somebody. No, it's not. Claudio Cunha and rFactor. That is a 1 minute 9.297. Would be enough to catch up to Cameron Roger by the end of this race if he keeps up this race pace. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough to make it work for Tom Onnemenger. 20 seconds is that gap. Only 12 laps remaining, so that's almost 2 seconds a lap, and then you also have to get past.
And Podomaros gets held up by Claudio Kuna again.
You don't even feel getting out of the way nicely there on the main straight. Tom Lombert's also really quick. Last lap of Podomaros, 1 minute 10.0. That's not going to be enough. Got held up a bit too much there. Tom Lombert's did a 1 minute 9.3. So the pace is there, but Podomaros currently not really closing in quickly enough. And Cameron also started to pick up the pace. So is Tom Onnemenger. They both did a 1 minute 9.9 last lap. They're both even quicker than Podomaros' last lap. And if they keep up that kind of pace, I don't think Podomaros is going to be able to get past them. Or even get close to them.
Oh, it's pretty unlikely. Needs to be nearly 2 seconds a lap faster. So, considering both of them are lapping in the 9s right now, unless their tires both drop off massively, I don't think Podomaros can get it.
Nine laps remaining, and the gap between Podomaros and Cameron Horger is now 9 seconds. Mark Weiler is now getting close to Bojan Bogdanov. Mark Weiler trying to find the gap to get past him. He's really close in the second sector. Ooh, up the inside there, turn 9. Side by side going through the second to last corner. Still making it work. A little bit of wheel banging there. Now out of the last corner. Bogdanov went wide and then almost spun around into the wall there out of the last corner. Hard but fair racing there by Mark Weiler. And Roger just did a 1 minute 9.5, so definitely the pace in the two drivers in the front has been a bit slow to save their tires and perhaps save some fuel. Now they're really picking it up. Polomado Salantidis still 8.4 seconds behind Cameron with only 6 laps to go. Surely that's not going to be enough.
At this point, it's unlikely. Tom Lambert, though, just did the fastest lap at 8.7. He might be catching up to Podomaros if Podomaros' tires are maybe dropping soon, and Tom can keep up the pace.
Still 10 seconds? 6
Yeah.
laps?
Well, maybe.
Who knows?
I think Tom Allmendinger might be soon to be unlapped by Matthew Tucson.
Tucson staying very close to Tom Hondermenger here. But I think Tucson isn't really battling with anyone else on track, is he?
And the next car is around 2 corners behind him. Ivan Leonov exiting turn 3 now.
Yeah. The car in front is 6 seconds ahead. So
Yeah. Obviously, we have a special penalty system for the last race. So if you're involved in an accident and you get penalized for it, it will be added to your race time instead of getting a crit job for the next race. So it can be important to be lapped or not unlapped. Lapped or not lapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, if you are the last in queue of the cars in the lead lap, can't drop positions if you get a time penalty.
Yeah.
I think Tucson will go for the move. No, he backs out of it again.
Yeah, it seems like he's just taking it slow and easy.
Yeah, and you can see how much better fresh softs are compared to used mediums and used hards. Both Tucson and Leonov following the two leaders, Oldemang and Roger, on their fresh tires. But this time around, Tucson is very closer than... And Oldminger lets him by, and Tucson lifts as well, I think. This was a bit awkward.
Looks a bit like Tom Oldminger was coming in the pits for a second.
Yeah. I think Oldminger playing the safe game here. He doesn't want to risk, obviously, Tucson maybe having a brake failure or missing his braking point and then getting collected. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Smart move by Tom.
4.3 seconds to Cameron Roger behind, and only 2 laps to go. 1.5 laps to go, I should say. I think it's the safe bet. Apolomado Salantidis not able to get anywhere close to the 2 guys in front of him. And Roger and Tom Oldminger just really saving their fuel in the first part of their stints, saving the tires, and then in the latter part they just started to push, and not really a chance for Palomado Salantidis to catch up to them.
Yeah, and in the meantime we have a new fastest lap by Rainer Vecher. He's on fresh soft tires, and after getting involved in the lap 1 incident and hitting the wall in turn 4, might be a bit of a present for him getting the fastest lap at the end.
Yeah.
Tom's really slowing down right now. Cameron catched up 1.5 seconds in the last lap, is 6/10 faster in the first sector again. He might be within a second for the last lap.
Well, this is the last lap.
Oh,
so
well. Okay. Maybe not.
Last corner, 2 seconds. I don't know. I think it's gonna be enough for Tom Oldminger here. Final race of the season. It's been one hell of a season here for the Pro Championship. Tom Oldminger takes victory here in Brazil. Great race by him. Cameron Roger will be finishing in P2. And Palomado Salantidis, who's led almost half of this race, but wasn't able to make it work on the extra stop, finishes in P3. Tom Lomberts P4. Jordi Zwiers, after making a mistake in the second sector, spinning out, losing his front wing, finishes in P5. Right behind him is Eduard Batala, and then it's waiting for Jan Woznica. In the meantime, you saw Rainier Vergeer finishing in P15, did the fastest lap in the race eventually, so something. And Jan Woznica in P7, Mark Weiler P8, and P9 for Bojan Bogdanov. So the wait for Matthew Tucson, he's pretty far down. We saw that he only got unlapped by, or he himself unlapped himself, only 1 or 2 laps to the end. And there it is, rolling to the line. Timo Burkhardt, just enough
fuel. Oh, just made it. His last lap was 10 seconds slower than, well, 11 seconds slower than his personal best, I think.
Wow. So that finishes up this race. Tom Oldminger did a great job in taking the win here from the one-stop strategy. Not everybody expected it after he did 21 laps on the softs and then 33 laps on the medium tires. A very, very long last stint by him on those medium tires, but he made it work. Did a great job by doing so as well. And that means for the championship, obviously, the championship winner is Ivan Leonov. You can see him doing some donuts on the start-finish line. Great stuff, obviously, by Ivan Leonov. He did a great season. He won a total of 3 races and scored 155 points so far. Obviously, that doesn't include the points of this race just yet, but considering Tiziano Brioni didn't race today, Ivan Leonov is crowned the Pro Champion, and Tom Oldermenger, I believe, will be taking P3 and also P2 from Tiziano Brioni and Luca D'Amelio, and Cameron Roger will also do so. So, great stuff here once again by the pro drivers. It's time for us to wrap it up. In about 1 hour's time, the Ace drivers will be starting their race. They will also be racing for 54 laps here around this beautiful track. After that, of course, at 18:30 GMT, the qualifying session for the World Championship will begin. Make sure to tune in for that. The Constructors title is still on the line. ACR versus Musto Racing. It's not done yet. It's very close for Musto to win the Constructors title. But it's not done quite yet. So make sure you tune in for that as well. Until then, for us here at the Pro Championship, I want to thank everyone involved. The race director, of course, Peter. Obviously, the whole Formula Sim Racing administration for organizing the Pro Championship this season. Once again, it's been a great season, and I hope to see everybody again, the drivers again in the Pro Championship, maybe in the Ace Championship next year. So, also thanks to the viewers for watching. Thanks for Peter again for joining me in the commentary booth as well. And for me, it is time to close off and see you guys next year. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.